So Career Builder did a survey. It said that 78% of people live paycheck to paycheck. And the stats in this survey are staggering. Nearly 1 in 10 workers that make over $100,000 a year live paycheck to paycheck. 1 in 4 workers don't set aside any savings at all every single month. And 28% of workers that make between $50,000 to $100,000 live paycheck to paycheck. The stats are staggering because the majority of Americans actually live paycheck to paycheck. And it doesn't matter how much money you make. If you're spending everything that you make, then you're living paycheck to paycheck. So today, I'm gonna talk about how you can stop living paycheck to paycheck. Now, some people are living paycheck to paycheck and they have absolutely no idea that that is happening right now. And if that's you, what I want you to understand is if you're spending every single dollar that you make, then you're absolutely living paycheck to paycheck. If your debt eats away at all your extra money, you're living paycheck to paycheck. If you're not investing your extra dollars for your retirement, you're living paycheck to paycheck. And if you always are stressed or anxious about money, you're most likely living paycheck to paycheck. So what I want to do today is I'm going to show you the steps so you can reduce that stress, reduce that anxiety, because I don't want you to be stressed with your money anymore. Money is not there to create stress and anxiety. Money is there to reduce your stress and anxiety. So today we're going to talk about exactly how to solve that problem. The first thing is to take full responsibility. Don't blame anybody else for your problems. What you want to do is take full responsibility and get control of the situation. Now, today we're going to teach you exactly step by step how to get control of the situation. But what you want to do is make sure you understand that this is something that you can do. You have the power to get out of this paycheck to paycheck cycle. Nobody wants to be in the paycheck to paycheck cycle. Nobody tries to get in the paycheck to paycheck cycle. It just happens for a lot of people. So let's get out of it together. Now, one of the biggest things you want to do early on is find your why. Why are you doing this? Is it for your kids? Is it for your legacy? Do you want to build generational wealth? Do you want freedom from a job that you hate? Why do you want to get out of the paycheck to paycheck cycle? Because finding your why is going to help you have that motivation when times get tough. And trust me, sometimes it's tough. You want to go do the extra things. You want to take multiple vacations a year, but sometimes you have to cut back, especially at the beginning, so that you can move forward with much more wealth and strength. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to get control of your spending. So you want to build a budget. Now, we've talked about 2 budgets a number of times on this channel. The first one is a zero-based budget where you budget every single dollar that you make towards specific expenses. And this is the one a lot of people think of when they think of a budget. And there's a second type of budget that we talked about, and it's called the reverse budget. Essentially, the way that it works is every single time that you get paid, you save your money off the top and then you spend what is left over. So if you want to save 20% of your income, you save that 20% off the top so you don't spend it and commingle it with the rest of your funds, and then you spend what is left over. And what this does is it allows you to not have to do a line by line item budget. It makes budgeting so much easier for most people because most people, let's get real, we don't want to budget. Why? It's not that fun to budget. Now, you can make it fun and it's more efficient to do it the other way, but doing a reverse budget is best for most people because at least you understand where your money's going. The next tip is to make savings automatic. What you want to do is every time you get paid, automate that system because making your savings automatic ensures that you're not relying on your willpower. Let's get real. Your willpower sucks. So relying on that willpower is just never going to work. So automating your savings every time you get paid into your savings account, into your brokerage account, into your emergency fund is incredibly important so that you can make sure you save that money over time. The next one is to make your savings hard to reach. The harder your savings are to reach, the less likely you are to tamper with your savings. So over time, you're gonna be able to save so much more money if it's harder to reach. If it takes you 3 to 5 days to pull your money out when your friends want to go get that extra slice of pizza, what are you gonna say? I gotta wait 3 to 5 days before I can transfer the money over. Sorry, I can't go out to dinner with you. So making those savings harder to reach is incredibly important. Now, if you've listened to the podcast or you've watched this channel for any length of time, you know that I'm not about cutting back for the small things like that. What I really want you to do is increase your income over time. And increasing your income is the catapult to wealth. It's how you build generational wealth. And you want to make sure that you're focusing the majority of your time on increasing that income. Number 6 is wait to buy anything, especially with big purchases. This is one of the best hacks when you're buying a lot of things, is wait at least 7 days before you buy a big purchase. Why? This ensures that you really want that item, but in addition, it allows you a cooling off period because if you don't want that item, then you can back out and say, I really don't want this. I'm gonna save these dollars instead. Number 7, make sure you monitor the big 3. So the big 3 expenses are housing, food, and transportation. If you can control these 3 expenses, then you can most likely spend lavishly on everything else, because these are the 3 biggest expenses in the majority of people's budget. Making sure you don't buy more house than you need, making sure you don't buy a fancy car that you can't afford, and controlling all of these expenses is incredibly important. So focus on those 3 expenses and make sure those are under control first before you start cutting out lattes and anything else like that. Focus on the big 3. Number 8, focus on your fixed expenses. Have you locked yourself into a lifestyle that you can't afford? A lot of people do that, and the majority of people do that when they're trying to keep up with the Joneses. You don't want to lock yourself in a lifestyle you can't afford. Look at your recurring expenses, look at your subscriptions, look at everything across your budget, and make sure that you're not spending too much money. A lot of people are spending more than they make and they don't realize it, and that is why they live paycheck to paycheck. Number 9, and this is one of our master money specials, is trim the fat. What that means is cut out everything within your budget that does not bring you value. So you got to really look hard at this. What are you spending money on that you really don't care about? Are you going out to bars with your friends a lot? If you are and you don't care about that, then cut it out from your budget. Or are you going out to eat every single day with your coworkers and you really don't care to? Or maybe you have a fancy car and you really would much rather have a fancy house than a fancy car. Well, look at these things, because everything with your money is a trade-off. Understand that now. You can afford anything, you just can't afford everything. And understanding this early on is incredibly important, because once you get this concept, you can cut out everything that doesn't bring you value and you can spend lavishly on everything that does bring you value. So this is so incredibly important to understand, and it's so exciting once you get this down, because then your dollars are doing what you want them to do and going towards your priorities instead of going towards things that you truly don't care about. Number 10, watch out for lifestyle creep. So what lifestyle creep is every time that you get a raise or you start to make more money, your lifestyle also increases when you make more money. The best way to do this is to save a portion of every single raise or bonus or tax return or whatever else you get towards your future self. So that could be going into your retirement funds, your emergency funds, your investment accounts. It doesn't matter what it is, but making sure that you save a portion every single time and continue that savings over time since you got that raise is incredibly important. This will allow you to increase your wealth over time. And in addition, you're not going to continue to live paycheck to paycheck, because as your income increases and you start to invest more of those dollars, you're fueling the fire. So this is incredibly important to understand so that you can start to build generational wealth for you and your family. Number 11, along those same lines, save your tax returns and save your bonuses, because doing this over time is going to ensure that you're going to save that much more money. So imagine this. Let's say, for example, for the next 30 years, you got a 3% raise. Now, 3% raise isn't great. I understand that, but let's say that you got the bare minimum. You got a 3% raise. So what that would mean is over the next 30 years, you could save half of that 3% raise. And what would happen there is you'd be saving 45% more of your income than you are today. That is how you start to build wealth, is saving a portion of your raises and your bonuses, because as you get those raises, you're not going to feel the difference because you're going to be saving that money instead of spending it. You already live the way you do now, so just saving a portion of it doesn't have to be the whole thing unless you want it to and you want to accelerate your path, but just saving a portion of it means that you won't feel the pain of saving more money, and in addition, you're going to really be accelerating your path to wealth. Number 12, understand that this takes time. It takes an incredible amount of persistence and time for you to get through this. And for most people who start to budget, it usually takes them about 4 to 8 months before they actually get control of their finances and get a hang of this thing. So don't give up early on. Understand that this takes time. What you want to do is stay the course and stay consistent, because consistency always wins over time when it comes to your money. Remember that. The most consistent people who practice very simple principles are the ones who build the most wealth. So understanding that early on, that it's going to take a little bit of time for you to get the kinks out before you can actually make this start to work is incredibly important. And then number 13, the last one, is focus on increasing your income. Your income is the catapult to building wealth. Your income is everything when it comes to building wealth. So increasing your income over time is the biggest thing that you can do. You can only save so much more money, but over time you can earn an infinite amount of money. And that's why increasing your income is so incredibly powerful. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell as well. And if you like this video, here are 2 more videos that I know you're gonna love. Thank you guys again. We'll see you on the next video.